welcome to your training on wild, abundant success. Today, I'm here to talk about which cash creation method really resonates with you. As you know, I'm Hillary. I'm an artist and I'm a spiritual guide. I guide people intuitively in business and also in life. And today, I really want to share some of the practical steps, since oftentimes and lately I've kind of come on and I've talked about more of the spiritual with you. So I host these live trainings almost every Thursday. I took last Thursday off. I have had a lot of exciting things going on. I have my retreat launch happening. I have my group program, Immersion, happening. So I've just had a lot of really cool things going on. And I have a show and an art show next weekend. So thank you for being patient with me. And I felt inspired today to come on. Oh, hey, Melinda. I felt inspired today to come on and chat with you. So next week, thank you so much. I've been, really just, taking a little extra time for self-care. So if that resonates with you guys, please let me know. So self-care to me is just like anything where we can take a little, just invest that extra 5 minutes in our own mental health and in our own self-care, basically. So today what I'm going to talk about is all the different cash creation methods. And I find this is going to be a really practical conversation. And what I'm doing in the immersion next week with my clients is we're going to go and we're going to pull out the method that aligns with you the most. And so today, I want to hear from you. Maybe you have experience with one method. Maybe there's a method that you're curious about, that you'd like to know more about. But you can start to think about what's worked for you in the past, because as we know, money very easily travels ways that it's come to us in the past. And then when we're carving out a new pathway, it can take a minute because you just have to kind of shift over to that. Which brings me to a conversation that I had with one of my clients today that I just wanted to share with you as we get started. I was talking with my client about taking steps, little small steps forward, steps that are not a shock to the system, because I've taken giant leaps and I remember how much of a shock that was to my system in business and how it took me a long time actually to integrate. So if we can integrate along the way, then we can just start to really naturally expand and grow in the way that we're meant to grow and align. So let us know where you're joining from. And if you have any questions about cash creation as we get started, feel free to drop those in the comments. So I asked myself, what steps do I want to take forward that align with me right now? Okay. So in the immersion, Wild Abundant Success, and I'm going to go more into step 2 today. In step 1, we're going to really align with your soul purpose. Now, some of you might be super dialed into your purpose, which is great, because then you're already resonating that and you're attracting people into you. And so that might not be the issue. That might not be why you're not getting clients or why you might be ready to expand into more cash flow or more cash creation. So you might already be aligned with your soul purpose, but the second step on day 1, which is huge, is dialing more into that intuition, because we need to act from the present moment. We don't need to create our programs and our offers from the future, from the past. We need to dial into our intuition, and we need to release any resistance. And resistance is something that comes up for seriously comes up for everybody. And so what I enjoy and what I talked a lot with my soul aligned clients about is identifying where your resistance lies. And the way that we identify that is I ask very specific questions. And what'll happen is those questions will start to reveal to you. Now that's the fun and that's the purpose of having and working with a coach. Over the past year, I've worked with 3 different coaches at different times. And each individual has shed more light and more of a self-awareness, right? A little bit of a broadening or a depth of understanding to, where my resistance might be, or where my blocks might be, right? The things that we can't always see for ourselves. So, how do you define wild, abundant success? So, what does that mean to you? And that's like a really deep question. And that's when I want to go into, because if we want to go somewhere, we need to know where we want to go. What does that look like? Like, what's that vision like? So, how do you define wild, abundant success? What does that look like for you? And then maybe you're already like, some of my clients are like super happy, they're super content, really successful with their day to day. They just want a little more cash flow, or they'd like to call in, something new. Like I launched a retreat this year. So like, what is that new vision, right? Because our visions, they don't really stay the same. They evolve. Just like, we wake up in the morning and we go through different changes throughout the day. We might wish that sometimes we wish that things could always stay the same, but the truth is that would get a little bit boring, right? If we're really honest with ourselves, we'd get a little bit boring. And even though we might wish that we had this illusion of security, thinking that we know what's going to happen next, we actually don't know what's going to happen next. But the really cool thing is that by taking these little aligned, and this is what my client and I were talking about today, by taking these little aligned actions and these little aligned steps, we can actually help to shape things that come next for us. And we can also, if we're going through a change or a transition, we can go through that with more gentleness and more ease. And that's something I learned from my mentor that I've studied with for like many, many years, who's a shaman and a healer. All right, so that's step one. Now, step two is what I said, the deep dive into today, which is the cash creation. So I'm just going to share with you like different methods of cash creation that get me really excited. And I want you to drop into the comments which one aligns and resonates with you. So all of these I would put under the big umbrella of offers. So when I use the word offer, what is your wild, abundant offer? Because that's what we're creating in Immersion. So what is that wild, abundant offer? So it could be a group program, run several of those. It could be workshops. Those are a great way to start transitioning into group programs. Or maybe you don't want a group program and you just want a repeatable signature workshop where you can work with people and get your one-on-one clients and all of that throughout the year. That is one strategy, in fact. And I can go more in depth into that strategy when you work with me, if that's like, you're like, I just really want those one-on-one clients because it's not overwhelming to me, then a workshop is one way that I can help you to get those. Another offer would be like a collaboration. Say you don't want to work alone. Maybe you want to go out and you want to do something with a corporation. I've worked with like a lot of different brands, corporations, tech corporations, all kinds of different people. So what are maybe you are just collaborative by nature, and that might be a really good thing for you to explore in your business. Creating products, so whether that be a physical product or a digital product, that might be something, especially if you're like an artist or a designer or creative, or even a healer that wants to have your own like physical product, maybe that's something that's really resonating with you. So creating products can be really, really fun. Different examples would be like candles. That's something I've done within the past year. Textiles. And right now I'm just really inspired like by creating fine art, and that's in my own private art practice. So that's what I've been up to. The last one that came to mind is like a design service, because I do get a lot of graphic designers. There's a lot of need for graphic designers online because people need help with their business. So, or a financial services designer, like think about what are those different products that you could create to help coaches elevate and expand their business. Because as you know, there's a lot of mentors, healers, coaches, spiritual guides, all of it happening here online. So I'm curious, I'm going to look in the comments and see what is resonating with you. And it's funny because it looks like my video kind of froze for a minute. Okay. So if you've got a cash creation method which really resonates with you, let me know. And then I'm going to continue on talking a little bit more about wild, abundant success. So day 3 is when we will create. Oh my gosh, it keeps freezing on me and it looks so funny. I hope it's not actually freezing in the group. Day 3 is when we're going to create and channel your offer. And by channel, I mean, we're going to get in a space where you can have a spiritual download of the offering that is right for you. We can ask your spirit guides for support with this. We can help you to figure out what the most magnetic offer will be for you right now at this time. And then we will map out a pathway, a plan, a strategy for who you're going to offer it to and what pricing you're going to offer it at and all of that. So if this resonates, if you know that you want to explore a new avenue for abundance and cash creation, that's a tongue twister, in your business, then Wild Abundance Success Immersion, which is 3 days, but it's like 90 minutes to 2 hours a day. So it's not like that intense, and there will be recordings if you can't make it on some of the days. If this resonates, please type in the word abundant in the comments so that I can follow up with you. We have the abundant level and we have the visionary level. And the visionary level, you actually get to experience one-on-one follow-up coaching with me. So if you like create your offer and then you want to run it past me so I can figure out how we can maximize it, we can maximize the cash that will come to you through this 3-day immersion. Now, the rates that I'm offering it at are really, really good. It's a huge value right now. And the next time we run it, it won't be at this rate again. The women that are joining us are absolutely incredible. It's a small container. It's an intimate container of visionary women that are going to be discussing and exploring the best ways to create their next level in business. So if this resonates, I hope you enjoyed hearing about all the different cash creation methods. And I'd love to hear which one is right, feels right for you. And I just want to share a little affirmation, a little reminder for you to take with you the rest of the week. It gets to be easy, it gets to be fun, and it gets to get better and better. So say it with me. It gets to be easy, it gets to be fun, and it gets to get better and better. I hope that made you feel light and inspired. And thanks so much for watching. Bye.